We're just live. Are we live now?
Yep, we're live, buddy. Pump and
You could have
repump.
been like, "Hey, we're live." But no,
Hey,
you
we're
just had to.
live.
I have to ask.
Well, yeah, well, I would told you we're going live now, and you're like, okay, are we live? Did I not?
Let me ask you something.
Okay, I'll answer.
What's
Maybe.
your what's your what's your stance on Timothy Chalamet?
Is that the guy that's from Dune?
Yes, and
Um,
other things.
I don't know that I've actually seen anything with him in it yet.
He's been in a bunch of shit.
I I feel like the Dune was like his big breakout role, and then I haven't, right?
I mean, no, maybe it was his biggest, I believe, but he's been in a lot of stuff.
I don't know if I've ever seen anything that he was in.
What's it called? What's that one movie? Call Me by Your Name.
I don't even know what that is.
Not no. That's no. That's the that's the song. There's a movie with a very similar title.
Call Me by Your Name.
Yeah, no, it's maybe.
Is that even the name of a song? What kind of lyric is that?
No, that's in
Why would anyone want someone?
What's that little Nas X song? That's from that song, right?
Which one?
Montrero? What is it? Is that Montero?
Yeah. Well, that's the CD, I think. I don't. Maybe there is a song. I don't know, dude. We're such fucking boomers.
Phone off. Yeah,
We
we're
are
really
fucking
booming out this.
boomers.
All I asked was what your thoughts on about Timothy Chalamet.
I don't know. I think he's kind of. I don't know. He gives like kind of weird vibes. Like he's kind of lanky and he's got like a long face, and I don't know, dude. He kind of gives me the vibes that I get from Adam Driver.
Which is what?
I don't know. Like just
what are Adam Driver vibes?
They kind of look similar, or I don't know, man. I don't know.
He does not give me Adam Driver vibes whatsoever.
Well, I don't know.
Timothy Chalamet is kind of like a pretty boy a little bit. Adam Driver's.
You think he's a pretty boy?
Not.
Let me look up some pictures, dude.
Timothy Chalamet is an attractive man.
But Adam Driver isn't?
But not in the same way.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, he's totally pretty boy. Hold on,
I feel like Chalamet has effeminate qualities about him.
Let me pop this up. Let me pop this up so everyone can see what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Take a look at Chalamet.
Oh yeah. I mean, he is a pretty boy, but he's got very chiseled features.
Yeah, for sure. It's defined.
Yeah.
But he's not like ex-Marine, once a Marine, always a Marine. Okay, okay, Jank, I hear you.
I hear you not even here.
He's not giving ex-Marine.
Was he a Marine?
Driver. I mean, he was in. I think so. I think he was in the armed forces. I believe. I don't know.
Really?
Right?
I don't know. How would I know?
I think he was.
You're the one who knows this guy.
Maybe you know something about anything.
I do sometimes, just not Timothy Chalamet. All I know is he was in fucking Dune.
No, not. He wasn't in the armed forces. Adam Driver was.
Oh, yes. Adam Driver was for sure. I know that. I know that for sure.
Anyway, I was lukewarm on Chalamet at first, but the past few things I've seen him in, he was pretty good.
What do you mean, as an actor? Or what do you,
yeah, as an actor. What else? What else?
I don't know. Physically attractive? I don't know.
You know, I mean, we could cuddle, but
you would cuddle with this guy?
Why not? Sit on the couch.
I feel like he might be a selfish cuddler.
I think he'd surprise you. That's what I feel like. That's the Chalamet vibe. He'd surprise you,
bro. He's got zippers on his fucking shoulders. All right.
Yeah, it's called fashion. You know. I mean, yeah, he'll do it up for the camera.
He ain't got room for me in his life, bro.
I don't know if you have room in your life for anybody else. So what's it matter?
Well, I'm just talking hypotheticals. If I throw myself at this man. Who is he with? Zendaya? Zendaya?
No.
Oh.
That's Tom Holland. You don't even know that.
This is Timothy Chalamet right here.
Yeah, because they were in Dune together.
I didn't see it, Stas. Was it good? Did you like it?
Yes, it was good.
I do need to watch it at some point.
How do you not know Zendaya is with Tom Holland? How do you not know that?
I mean, that's what I thought, but I was wondering what was going on here. I don't know. Dude, look what he's wearing here. Is this?
What they're just standing next to each other. What is that? They're not, they can be friends.
Okay, yeah, sure. I don't know. It's wait, Kylie Jenner and Timothy Chalamet?
No, stop. Do not click on any gossip shit. All I want we're going too far. We're going too deep into Chalamet.
Look at what he's wearing here. This is wild. I can't quite center this, huh?
Yeah, he's fashion forward. He's like he's giving Harry Styles vibes.
Is this fashion forward? It looks kind of absurd.
I mean,
It looks
hey,
impractical.
Well, of course, it's high fashion.
What? That's showing
he's not wearing it.
so
He's
much
not wearing it to Trader Joe's.
Well, you don't know that.
I know that.
This looks like a dress from behind, you know?
Yeah, that's probably what they're playing with. They're playing with that backless idea. Like it's a mix.
But then the front almost looks like a tie, you know?
Yes, yeah.
It's very strange.
As I said, they're blending it. Did I not say that?
Yeah, you did.
It's a mix.
Listen, Jesus. Just let me have my train of thought. Look at what has he got? A little collar on?
Yeah, it's called a Roman collar.
What the hell is that?
That's the thing, the collar that priests wear.
Yeah, so like some people do it like as fashion.
Well, I don't know. I think technically it's not. I mean, you can. Just people don't. Why? Because they don't want to be confused with a priest.
I can't imagine why.
All right, close out Timothy Chalamet. Let's move on from Tim.
Well, come on. He's got some good fashion. Look at what he's got going on here.
I don't even think that's a Roman collar. I think it's just.
Is that what it's called? When is a Roman collar like the religious one, or is that just like if anyone wears it?
It's anyone wears it, but only priests wear it. So
it means like it has a religious meaning.
Well, yes, but only because no one else is sporting that look, I believe.
So you could wear it non-religiously.
I suppose. I would imagine you could, yeah. I don't know what you're doing. You said you were listening at 7. Oh, 1900. Okay, never mind. I got confused.
I hope. What is that? Friar Tony isn't listening to this.
Father.
Oh, father. And then father.
Okay. I'm related to a priest.
Are you?
Yeah. My dad's cousin, I believe.
You've never told me that.
Yeah, he works out of New Orleans.
Wow.
He said a mass for Marky Mark, actually.
Shut up.
Yeah, because apparently Marky Mark's a big Catholic, and like they were shooting a movie in New Orleans, and he asked him for a private service.
What?
Yeah.
No, what Jim said?
No, it's not true. He just no. No.
Okay, well, how am I supposed to know? It could have been.
No, I would have led with that.
I don't know. Maybe you didn't know. It's not like he's like immediate family.
I would have heard.
The grapevine would have thinking. Oh, Jimmy, thank you for the gifted sub to Commander Mander. She's back. Yeah, so that's Timothy Chalamet.
All right. What'd you get up to this week? Anything hot?
What did I do this week? Watch some kids. That's where I went earlier today. Did I tell you this already?
Yeah, you were hanging out with your sister.
Yeah, and her kids.
And then you babysat yesterday.
Yep, it's been a lot of kids time, but I don't mind it. I like they're hilarious.
Yeah, maybe let's get them on the pod. They'll host one.
Yeah. Well, considering one can't even talk yet, it's not going to go too far.
Well, I mean, it could be good content. You never know.
Yeah, for about 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, does it? I mean, will the young ones take swings? With their baby arms.
Well, you're not going to see anything.
Well, I mean, there's got to be video. They're cute babies.
Oh yeah, I know. That will be hilarious. Luna, the older one, will be hilarious, dude. If she's in the mood for it, she might just be like, dude. So she's learning that they give her a lot of independence, right? So like, if she doesn't want, like, kind of like, she can set her personal boundaries at an early age. So like, if she doesn't want to hug, or if she doesn't want to say goodnight, or like have a stuff like that, she can just be like, no, thank you, or whatever, and that's it, right? and
Sure.
we respect that. But she's starting to learn to be a little sassier too, and like, so yesterday we were watching them, and I was like, okay, Luna, like, it's time for you to go to bed, and you're gonna have to go up there. Do you want me or Joe Knox to, like, read you books and put you to bed? And she walks away, and like, Luna, where you going? She's like, I'm not talking to you. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, Uncle Jojo feels like you.
Dang.
Yeah, she's getting a little sass. But it's just because she's
the
like
mean
her.
one or what? Are you the strict one?
No, not at all. It's just because, like, I had to enforce, like, hey, it is bedtime and there is no negotiation here.
And
then she's like, well, now I'm mad at you. And I know, it's cute. Except that I'm like, I was like, dude, I just spent like 5 hours watching you, and you're not even gonna say goodnight, little shit.
Yeah, that's children.
Yeah. And I'm just there like once a week maybe, and it's like, dude, I had to do this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not cut out to be a parent, man.
Not for you.
Maybe not. I don't know. I'll just have to find a nice woman who can really handle that end.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're okay.
And I'll bring home the bacon.
Sure. Sure.
Listen, it's my fantasy.
Yeah. Hey, dream as big as you want.
No, I would love a kid, and I would be very involved, obviously, but man, it is what did they call it? The not unappreciated, right? Like being a mom or being a parent is like the most underappreciated job, or what? It's something else. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Unsung.
The unsung heroes. I don't know, but it's true.
Thankless? Is that what you're looking for?
Thankless. Yes, a thankless job. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, you say you want kids. When are you having them?
I don't. It's just. I mean, I would like kids, but I don't. The ship's probably sailed, unless something happens quick in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
But probably not.
Well, what's the cap for you? What age would you be like, I'm done, or no, I'm not having kids?
I don't know. I probably could be coerced into it if I find the right woman.
Even into what? 49? I was 49 years old.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe the old dad.
Maybe.
Art of Accuracy's dad.
I think Art's dad was older than that.
Yeah, but even so, you're going to be the old dad at all the functions.
Yeah, but maybe
you're cool with that?
I don't. What should I be? I should be shamed out of having children because I'm an old dad.
But thinking about it, it's like, hey, by the time they're in college, I'll be 70.
Yes, it's not ideal,
Yeah, I know it's not ideal, and it's damn near
criminal,
impractical. Yeah, but
yeah, of course you think about that, right? Like, you don't want to die when they're fucking 20 from natural causes,
Yeah, for sure.
A 90-year-old when they're graduating.
I think my limit would be 45, 46.
Well, you better kick it in the gear too. 70 and new 40.
Yeah,
thank you.
I don't think it's happening for me either, but I'm not like,
maybe listen.
Oh man, I'd love a kid.
We'll just, once the podcast really hits and we're making 6 figures each, we get a kid together. We'll just Russian.
How do you mean that?
We'll Russian roulette. We'll Russian roulette our boys into a surrogate. And then we'll just guess which one it is.
I feel like within a year we're gonna know.
Maybe even before that. I mean, it's gonna come out and you'll be like, okay, those are your eyes, or that's.
Can you just imagine finding a woman and being like, okay, so here's the deal. We're a package. So both of us.
We're gonna get a cup each. We're gonna have a doctor mix it up. Is that how they actually do it? Like, because you can do that, can't you?
No, I'm sure that's not how they do it.
Well, not that way, but there is a way you can Russian roulette like 2 men, right?
I don't know.
I feel like that's gotta be a thing.
Well, I'm sure they would keep the samples separate, right? And then just use one of the samples at random.
Oh, you think that's the play?
I would imagine that would be the play. What would be the point of mixing it?
Well, so you can see who has the stronger swimmer that actually deserves it.
Oh, okay.
Boy, that would
All
be an
right.
adventure.
Let's get it. You know what? We're at the start of the show. We're at the top of the show. So let's do the poetry now.
Okay.
April's Poetry Month, as I said last week. And this is a holdover from my time as a teacher. It was one of my favorite times. And so every week during the podcast for April, I've brought some poems to share. And you can also bring some poems to share, except you don't have one this week, and that's fine.
You don't know
Okay?
that.
It's not a requirement. I know that. So I have two today. One's a quick one, and another one we're going to talk about a little bit because I feel like it's time to take you all to school a little bit. If you don't know anything about poetry, now's the time to get into it. Yeah.
And yet here you are every week, Jim.
Okay, so here's the cute one. This is pretty well known. This poem is by Dr. Seuss, of all
Ooh.
people, and it's called "Too Many Daves."
What? Really?
Yeah. Did I ever tell you that Mrs. McCabe had 23 sons and she named them all Dave? Well, she did, and that wasn't a smart thing to do. You see, when she wants one and calls out, "You-hoo, come into the house, Dave," she doesn't get one. All 23 Daves of hers come on the run. This makes things quite difficult at the McCaves, as you can imagine, with so many Daves. And often she wishes that when they were born, she had named one of them Bodkin Van Horn, and one of them Hoosfoos, and one of them Snim, and one of them Hotshot, and one Sonny Jim, and one of them Shadrach, and one of them Blinky, and one of them Stuffy, and one of them Stinky. Another one Putt Putt, another one Moonface, another one Marvin O'Gravel Balloon Face, and one of them Ziggy, and one Soggy Muff, one Buffalo Bill, and one Biffalo Buff, and one of them Sneepy, and one Weepy Weed, and one Paris Garters, and one Harris Tweed, and one of them Sir Michael Carmichael Zutt, and one of them Oliver Bolivar Butt, and one of them Zanzibar Buck Buck McFate. But she didn't do it, and now it's too late. Too many Daves. The kids love that one, especially when you get to Oliver Bolivar Butt.
Dude, I wasn't sure that was over. How come none of those names are real names except for Dave? I guess there was a Jim in there, I heard.
Sonny Jim. It's just
It's just like
Buffalo Bill.
Well, I guess Buffalo Bill, but was it Buffalo Bill some like murderer?
Shadrach is a real name.
What
It's
is?
a bit obscure, but
What?
yeah.
Which one?
Shadrach.
Shadrach?
Yeah. Pretty sure it's Irish.
Is it spelled like Cedric?
No. Shad. S-H-A-D. Rack.
I know the what is it, Gaelic? To do some crazy shit with consonants, man.
Oh yeah, well if you take those names, it's like, it's like SBHUXY and it's pronounced Megan or some shit. It just doesn't
it gets
doesn't
wild.
even make any sense.
And that's names,
Okay,
baby.
second poem. This one's called, you know what? Here, I'm gonna send the link to you. Put it up on the big screen.
Okay.
I'm gonna go through it here. I'm gonna take you all to school.
This is hands-on learning,
Yeah.
chat.
We're learning today.
Let me see here. Can I make this bigger?
All
that
right,
looks
this
good.
poem is called Testimonial by Harry Newman Jr. You are cordially invited to attend, at $100 a plate, a testimonial to those who have devoted their lives unstintingly, unselfishly to the humanitarian purpose of making money. No sacrifice too great, no relationship too dear to accumulate enough to afford the luxury of giving it away in some worthy cause or other. Just listen to that applause from the 1,000 or more gathered here in tribute, black-tied, bejeweled, pledging their allegiance to the honorees and to the secret hope that one such memorable night they too might step into the blue-white shaft and receive their plaque.
Damn.
Now, what do you think? Now, give me your thoughts on this poem. What are you and what's hitting you initially?
I don't know if I fully understand it, but it sounded like it's critiquing people making a ton of money to like go give it away at charities and feel special about themselves.
Like the idea that these people are like great humanitarians.
Yeah.
It's a very self-congratulatory exercise.
Right. It's very much like, oh yeah, you play the financial game, and then once you earn your lot, you can go give a little percentage away and feel good about yourself.
Sure. I would point, let's scroll down a little bit. Okay, so at the last stanza, right, that one such memorable night, they too might step into the blue-white shaft and receive their plaque. Now this is employing literal and figurative language. So the literal blue meaning for the blue-white shaft is what?
Spotlight.
Yeah. Now the figurative meaning for the blue-white shaft would be what?
The shaft of an arrow in Spelunky.
No. no, that does 2 damage. So that doesn't apply.
Wait, what is it? The literal or the figurative? The figurative.
The figurative.
I don't know. What is a blue-white shaft? I don't know.
Okay, well, okay, so a spotlight is what? What color is a spotlight?
Probably white or yellow. White.
Yellow, right? Okay. So when we're talking about blue-white light, what do you get any ideas? Like where would blue-white light come from?
Sun.
No.
Blue light?
Yeah.
What the hell is blue light?
It's okay. It's like
hold my hand.
It's heavenly, right? It's like the the rays of the Lord are shining down upon you. That blue-white light. It's like holy light is shining down, right?
Interesting.
Because these people have believed that that they are
righteous.
Right, that they're righteous when in fact, they've lived their lives not being righteous at all, right? They've been incredibly selfish, and now in a moment they think they can pay that up, redeem themselves. Not even redeem's the wrong word, but like it's all worth it.
You can, guys, just give away a little bit of money and all is forgiven.
Okay, you can close it.
Yeah. Interesting. To the humanitarian purpose of making money. It's fun.
That's actually that's like a philosophy. I forget what it's called.
What do you mean?
Where it's like humanitarianism by accumulating enough wealth, right? Like,
hey, it's a philosophy like, hey, go grind and make as much money as you can so you can like do good in the world.
Give it away to good causes or whatever.
I mean, I
think it's garbage, but
yeah, I could see people rationalizing that. It doesn't surprise me at all.
That's Poetry Month. We'll get some. I mean, this week's poetry. Next week we'll have some more poems. Maybe you'll have one.
Maybe chat will have one.
Maybe chat. Who gives a shit? They listen. They don't participate.
They participate all the time.
That's true. That is true.
Did you see the part where Jim said that you're depressing him or me, both of us?
Yeah, he depresses himself just fine.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, well, if anybody has any requests for poems to be read, hit me up on Discord. I'll give them a read.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, there's some chat participation.
Yeah,
looks like everybody loved that portion of the show, so we can move on.
I liked it, Stas.
Yeah, thanks.
Maybe we just do that year round. Keep it special.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, 1 month out of the year. All right, what do we got? What are we talking about today? We got some topics.
We do. What do you want to start with the 170 grand?
You grab whatever you want.
I'm grabbing the 170 grand.
Okay.
Let's start there because this is gonna be fun. All right, let me pop this on. Am I gonna gas myself? No. Okay. So here we got a nice little article I stumbled upon where this guy spent 170 grand on leg surgery to grow 5 inches, and he says he gets more dates now.
Okay. First off, grow. Why we use the term grow? It's gain, right? Like you didn't grow.
Well, no, yeah, he didn't. Well, actually, I think probably in the recovery process, your body probably grows new stuff, right?
I mean, you're getting real technical. You're getting real technical about it.
So are you saying gain instead of grow?
Anyway, this guy gets 5 inches. God, this surgery is excruciating.
Let me ask you this: what do you think 5 inches would do for you?
Well,
say you didn't have to go through surgery or spend money. Like I could just snap my fingers, boom, you get 5 inches. Would you take 5 inches right now if I could snap my fingers and do it? Or would you be like, fuck
probably.
that? Okay. I wasn't sure if you'd be like, nah, fuck that.
It's not. I mean, it's like I've become okay with being short, right? But it's like, well,
you ain't gonna look down on being tall.
You give me 5 inches, I'm only 5'8". You know, not like I'm rising above the clouds.
Oh my god, you only 5'8"?
Yeah,
that's rough.
You want? Wow.
Well, I'm just agreeing with you.
You're some kind of guy, aren't you?
I'm just agreeing with you, buddy.
But yeah, I feel like 5'8" would make a difference as opposed to 5'3".
Yeah.
Or maybe it wouldn't. I don't know, because it's in the dating pool, right? I feel like I just have to find a woman who just doesn't give a shit either way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you're okay with 5'8", like what could you possibly be? What would 5'3" be? So why would 5'3" be so wrong? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. Some girls are very particular about height. Like they specifically want someone taller than them, right?
No, yes.
Not necessarily not necessarily the crazier standard, which is like at least 6'1" or whatever. And it's like,
right.
Geez, okay. But some just want someone taller.
Prefer someone taller than them, and I understand that. They like a lot of the comments I would see or get is that it makes, if they're taller than their man, it makes them feel big. You know,
yeah.
They don't want to feel big.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel like in this realm, tall women and short men, like they have the exact same problem, right? Because it happens on both sides. A lot of men feel emasculated by a woman who's taller than they are.
For sure.
And a lot of women, they feel they feel masculated. Is that even a word? I don't know. By a guy who's shorter than them. So it's like, you know, you get it, but at the same time, it's like, well, a lot of times you're exiting the realm of preference and entering the realm of like prejudice, right? Like it's a hard no, right?
Well, isn't preference prejudice? Aren't they the same thing?
No, because a preference can be overcome. Like, hey, I prefer chocolate over vanilla, but I mean, I'm not going to complain if someone puts some free ice cream in front of me. You know what I'm saying?
And you're saying a prejudice is like a hard no, unwavering?
Yeah, it's like I'm not gonna truck with that, right?
Huh. Interesting.
But
do you have any prejudices in
hard? I mean, as far as like
looking for
features?
a partner, looking for a partner.
No, well, the issue is here, right? Is that, and this happens on both sides, right? Okay,
we all know
that's false. That's false. I should just ignore it, but okay.
Just in case any Asian single women are watching that are okay with 5'3" men.
Yeah, sure. The issue here is I don't want to get into this. We shouldn't have to do this. Right? We shouldn't feel like we have to do something like this to be accepted. We live in an increasingly shallow world. I feel like we have become increasingly superficial people, right? Especially considering how dating and dating apps and shit have evolved, right? We want our partner to look exactly like our dreams. And if they don't say exactly the right thing at exactly the right time, unmatched, we're on to the next person.
Well, part of that issue is the connectivity of the world, right?
Well, yeah, that too. But I feel like we are becoming a more superficial people, and as a byproduct of that, like your physical appearance becomes that much more important, right, to who you are. But it doesn't matter, right? Like if you're trying to get old with somebody, what the fuck does it matter how tall they are? What does it matter how big their boobs are? What does it fucking matter? Right? Like what really matters is can you stand to be in the same room with them for more than 30 minutes?
Right?
Right? Or do you just stay in your basement watching the Yankees games while your partner sits upstairs watching shows on Amazon?
That's super
Who
specific. Is
knows?
that Jim?
Who knows who it is? I don't know.
um.
But the
Yeah, well,
thing
maybe you
is
can't
that
staying in the same room with someone with too big of boobs. You know.
but the thing is that we have decided that like the physical features are the things that make or break. Like, am I going to give this person a chance? We don't give people chances anymore, right? Like, you don't give yourself a chance. We don't give ourselves a chances to get to know people and possibly fall in love with them, right? Because if you develop feelings for someone, they become more attractive to you,
For
right?
sure.
And I feel like
Physically more
we've
attractive.
lost that. I feel like in the modern world, we've lost the thread on this, right? And I hate a world in which people would feel pressured to do something like this, right? Like spend 170 grand for 5 inches, right? And I'm not saying it doesn't work. It probably does,
Yeah, for
right?
sure. But the thing is, do
So
you think that people weren't shallow or just less shallow in the past?
less. I'm not saying they weren't. They absolutely. I mean, a lot. I mean, I feel like physical beauty or attractiveness is a driver,
For
right?
sure. Yes, obviously. I
But
mean, you got Helen Troy and shit, right?
yeah, for sure. So I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. I feel like it's worse now. It feels worse.
Again, I think that's because of the connectivity, right? When you have access to people across the whole country instead of like the town you grew up in, you're gonna be way more picky. It
Yes, but
opens
if
up that
that's not
door.
yeah, yeah, that's true, but it's not the only issue because we're forcing ourselves to become these people, right? We're forcing ourselves to become quote unquote beautiful rather than looking inward, right? And redefining what it is to be pretty. We're just going by what we're inundated with, right? And women have this worse than men. Like
Well,
this is as bad as it gets for men, right? This stupid height this leg lengthening surgery, right? That's the most extreme. But on the women's end, it's lip filler and boob jobs and nose jobs and chin shaving,
yeah, it's
double
stuff's
eyelid surgery if you happen to be Asian.
fucking 18-year-olds getting what's it called?
Right. And the
Botox.
issue is we are both victims and perpetrators of this problem all at the same time, right? It's like we are we can't help but be attracted to pretty people, right? But at the same time that's not really what's important or shouldn't be what's important.
I think there's still a degree of people wanting someone that can fulfill non-beauty things in the relationship though, right?
Yeah, for sure. However, it's hard to get to that point now. You know what I'm saying?
It seems like that in some. I don't know if that's a. I mean, yes, for sure, it's
There
more
are
than it was.
absolutely sections. It's worse than it was before.
Yes, but I do think people still value things outside of beauty. Like obviously, right? Like when you're looking for a partner, like beauty only goes so far. If they're a bitch or an asshole, like
Yes, but you're encouraged, especially on an app, to like have your own set of selection criteria, most of which is physical,
well, that's
right?
because of the nature of the app. That's like the app is
Yes,
so
I
terrible.
understand, but it's prevalent. Like that's a huge way to meet people now.
It is, but maybe the error is that we're using apps to meet people instead of going out in the world and meeting people.
For sure.
We need more community, less swiping.
I don't know.
Because
I
like
don't know.
so many.
I don't like a world in which people feel the need to do these sorts of things to their bodies.
But I think the thing is, I think that people probably always hadn't felt this way, but like it was just less accessible back then. Not that this is accessible with 170 grand price tag, but like it wasn't even a possible surgery, 200 years ago or whatever. I bet you there's people 200 years ago who were like, I wish I was tall.
Surgery, they would have to like learn how to love themselves.
But I think that's still relevant now too. Like, there's a lot of people who still have to learn how to love themselves because they don't have 170 grand or they don't want to do something like this.
Yeah, I mean,
I ain't out here like doing crazy stuff to my body. You aren't either. Like, we had to accept ourselves and shit like that, improve ourselves within.
Prove ourselves within.
Improve.
Oh, improve.
Yeah,
yeah. Like what?
Yeah, you gotta prove yourself within yourself, bro. Prove to yourself you're good enough for a woman.
I don't know. I mean, don't do this to yourself. Okay? Have a little confidence and walk around. That's the problem, right? Is that it's hard to show, like, confidence is attractive, not right, but
Wildly.
It's hard to like show confidence in a fucking on Hinge,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I like I said, I've tried Tinder like a long time ago, and like as soon as I realized that it's literally just like 90% of dudes aren't gonna get shit for matches, and 90% of women are gonna match on everything they swipe on. It's like this is a depression game for dudes. Like, unless you're like a super good looking guy with great pictures and like whatever all-star life or whatever, like it's just gonna make you feel miserable about yourself. They're not great.
Every piece of advice I've seen, well, not every, but a lot of pieces of advice I've seen, it's like, hey, get pictures done. And it's like, I get it, but at the same time, it's like, why?
Well,
what?
I mean, if you are gonna play the game, right, play it well.
Yeah, I suppose. Gotta throw down cash just to put them up there.
Yeah,
I tried taking pictures of myself a couple years ago when I was on them. They didn't turn out that great.
What do you mean you tried taking pictures?
It's like you gotta turn. What?
You tried taking pictures of yourself like you never did that before, or what?
Yeah, I don't take selfies. A lot of guys don't take selfies.
I don't either. But what do you mean by
one of the issues with dating apps is that's why that's why it's like a meme that all men have pictures of them holding a fish.
Stankers.
Is that's really the only cause for like taking a picture?
He wore a dumb hat in one of them. Is that true?
Yeah, I did. I don't.
Was it a fedora?
Probably. That was years ago, not this iteration.
The cursed duck face selfie. Yeah, that was a.
I didn't duck face any of them either. But the thing is, it's like apparently I have to turn into an amateur photographer, just to,
Well, yeah, because that's the nature of the game. The whole fucking thing is someone's looking at your picture. There's nothing else.
Sucks, bro.
Huh?
The game sucks.
Yeah, that's why you don't play that game. Find a different venue. Get involved in a local community thing. Get involved in some local, I don't know, nerd club.
Local nerd club. You know what? I did. It was I went to a board game group.
Really? When was this?
Yeah, years ago. Before I moved to Cincinnati, I was going to a board game group like twice a month or so.
Yeah.
It was 90% dudes. It was 90% dudes who were nerdier than I was.
Well, yeah, I guess that's what it's going to be. But the thing, okay. Yeah.
Who could barely function in a social situation.
Basically, what you're saying is meeting people is hard, right?
Yeah, meeting people is a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
that's not what I'm saying with regards to this. Meeting people is hard, but I don't know.
But I think if there's better venues of meeting people, then this stuff, like the superficial stuff, because almost everyone I know, they met their significant other. I mean, there is a bit of like online dating and shit like that now, right? But a lot of them, they either met them through school, through work, right? Or like it's usually friends of friends. It's like it's kind of like a networking game, right? To find someone and have that opportunity of a conversation or whatever.
Sure.
Like like when you worked at the library, you were just generally exposed to more women than if you weren't when you weren't going, right? I don't mean in school. I mean like coworkers, right?
Yes, I
Yeah.
do. I know what you're saying.
Right. And did any of them? Did you ever get like a date through like one of them?
First off, when I worked at the private school, all those women are married because they can't be single because they cannot afford to work at that job and be single.
Right, but they never like introduced you to a friend.
No.
Well, then they're shitty coworkers, and it's thank God you got
5'3" goblin.
Oh, really? Because you had 2 dates last week.
Well, yeah, that's true. But none of the people I worked with ever tried to set me up.
Yes, but you got those dates through the community. Through networking, through community, however you want to like word it, right?
Sure.
I think a lot of
this doesn't alleviate the issue of superficiality.
No, of course there's superficiality. Yes, obviously. But I'm saying I think a big problem for a lot of people is like we're not going out as much. We're not physically going out as much. And then when like, and this isn't directed at you specifically, like when we get in our group, like we have our boys, right? Our guys that we play with and maybe a couple of girls or whatever, but we just spend our evening, our free time just playing games together. We don't really meet a ton of new people. We don't invite them to our group. We don't chit chat, and you know what I mean? Like how are you ever going to meet a woman if you don't have that connection? Not you specifically, but I'm saying when people stopped going out, we've kind of hermited ourselves more.
Sure. I mean, that's an issue as well.
Yeah.
A lack of community.
Which is the classic.
But that's a separate issue than like societal pressures to
It is, but I think it
always be beautiful.
Yeah, but I think it contributes to because there's like wild stats out there about like loneliness and like people not finding partners anymore. Like I'm pretty sure I just saw a thing about it today where like 60% of people over 30 aren't pursuing like finding a relationship and are lonely or something like that.
It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Got some wildos out there.
And it was more men.
All kinds of nonsense.
Actually, dude, I wish I saved this because the stats were weird. It was something like men over 30, like 60% of them were single, and women over 30, like 33% of them single. And it's like, wow, there's a disparity there. And then I'm like, how the fuck does that happen, right? I mean, taking away like
the men are older. The men those women are those women are married to are in their 40s, so they wouldn't.
Oh, I see.
I see. Okay. I mean, maybe that's,
no, but actually that could be it, right? That's wild.
Who knows?
Who knows? It was probably a made up stat, anyways. Fucking internet.
It's whatever.
The internet's wild. Actually, did you see? Oh, well, tangenting.
Come on, let's go.
Here we go, baby. Lock in. Did you see like all the stuff going on with ChatGPT and AI and shit like that?
I mean, there's always stuff going on with ChatGPT.
Yeah, but there was there was this thing that I think Joe Rogan tweeted out. He retweeted and he's like, "Hey, here we go, kids. Like this, this is gonna be slippery." And it was someone had ChatGPT write up a full podcast of Joe Rogan talking to some guy that's like the CEO of OpenAI or something like that, and then had AI voices do their voices for an actual, like for a podcast, and they like disclaimed like, hey, this is all fake or whatever, and this is all done by AI. But like, if that just came on like out of nowhere and you didn't have the disclaimer, you would think that it was an actual podcast by Joe Rogan and this other guy. It was like, and we're in the infant stages of AI. It's like, this is fucking kind of terrifying. Like,
well, yeah, I mean, that sort of stuff, it's new, but it's not exactly surprising because they've had like deep fake. I mean, the guy who did the video of Tom Cruise, that's not really Tom Cruise. You know that what I'm talking about?
Are you talking about the guy who does impressions and he has his face kind of change?
No, it's like, it was basically like a deep fake of Tom Cruise. It's like years old. It's like a year or two.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, we've seen deep fakes, right? But like,
so it's like, this is just it's not even video. It's just audio, mimicking someone's cadence.
Yeah, but like video is here too. Like, and the thing is, it's like, it feels like it exploded onto the scene in the past couple months, right? Like all of a sudden they're able to have this AI voice generate. I don't know how long it takes, but it ain't fucking long. It's not like someone had to like slave over some editing. It's like they somehow program the voice and it just fucking can pop out anything you say now. It's not like they, you know what I mean? It's just so easy to put out so much content of someone else's voice.
Yeah, it's wild.
And it's only going to get easier, and it's going to get harder to distinguish, and it's
It's only going to get worse if you don't stop them.
well, the thing is, I don't know, like I feel like it's exploded overnight, and there isn't a conversation about. I mean, you see some people kind of saying like there needs to be a conversation, or this needs to be reined in or whatever, but
how do you rein it in? What's reining it in?
I don't know. Legislation, maybe? I don't know. I mean, it has to be legislation.
You want to legislate now?
I don't know. Like, I'm not a huge fan of the idea, but at the same time, it's like, this is how are you ever going to know if something is real or not on the internet anymore? Like, if
I don't know, what does the legislation look like though? What are you actually restricting?
Yeah,
what would you be doing about it?
I don't know. If maybe something about like you can't impersonate people. You can't put out content that impersonates people.
Okay, well then I can't get up on stage and do my impersonation of Joe Rogan, when I become a stand-up?
It could be. I think Twitter does it now, where like because they had an issue with people impersonating each other, and it was like you have to disclaim that this is an impersonation or that this isn't the real person.
Yeah, that went over very well at the time that happened.
Well, whatever. I mean, it's a option. I don't know.
The thing is that it leaves I don't know. I feel like we're not trying to understand and come to grips with the new world. We're just like, hey, we can't have this.
Well, it's not necessarily that you can't have it. I mean, that solution would help prevent.
And then, I don't know. Yeah. I'm not sure it's ever going to take. Any legislation that comes through, it's not going to look like that, right? It's like, hey, use ChatGPT how you want, but you can't do this or that. You can't do these 5 things. Or whatever, these 5,000 things.
Well, I think there could be something about. I mean, I'm stretching here because I don't know legality stuff, but isn't there something about you can't actually replicate people, or like there's something about like you can't use people's likeness or something like that, right?
Sure, but if it's just audio,
I think if I tried to actually convince someone that I was like whatever, Orlando Bloom, right? I try to like do like an Orlando Bloom OnlyFans.
Yeah, long shot.
Okay, shut the fuck up. But I'm just saying, if I tried to do like an OnlyFans of Orlando Bloom, he probably could have a case for like, cease and desist or whatever. Like I don't.
Well, yeah, if you're telling people you're Orlando Bloom.
Right. But I think even if you don't necessarily say that, but it's obviously that you're mimicking him, because I think I saw something about this on like some girl was doing like Ariana Grande OnlyFans, I think it was, and like she was getting into hot water. She wasn't saying she was Ariana Grande, but it was very
getting into hot water. All right, I love that hot tub stream.
Yeah, but I don't know what came of it, but I remember there was a big kerfuffle.
Well, it's
about
like
it.
I mean, you can do a lookalike. Hey, lookalike porn has been a thing for a while.
It has, but I think people just don't actually. I think I think technically, like Elvis impersonators and shit are illegal, aren't they?
Are they?
I don't know. Well, let's look it up.
I don't know. Are they arresting Are they arresting 40% of the Las Vegas population?
Well, maybe Vegas has a special rule for it. I don't. All shook up. Elvis impersonators banned in Las Vegas. What is this? Can I get something a little shorter? Nevada's law on the right of publicly expressed publicity expressly allows for the legal use of celebrities' likeness by impersonators in live performances.
There you go.
But that's Vegas specifically. This is what? In the cease and desist letter, the company said it will halt unauthorized use of Presley's name, likeness, voice, image, and other elements of Elvis Presley's persona in advertisements, merchandise, and otherwise. Yeah, because it's like, I mean, you can't take Mario and put it on a shirt and start selling it. People do, and you get away with it.
But that's copyright. That's not
right. But your likeness has got to
trademark.
Your likeness has to have at least as much value as a copyright, right?
You can't stop. Can you stop someone from wearing a Mario costume to work?
I don't know. Maybe if you can prove it's the likeness. I don't know.
You mean the issue is when they try to make money off it.
That's
right?
true. Yeah, when they try to make money off of it, for sure.
If some guy at the office is just showing up looking like the king of rock and roll,
First First off, where is this job? I want that person in my life. Just showing up to work like a
I would
Mario.
too, but but it's like, what are you gonna do to them?
I don't.
You're not allowed to wear those clothes. You're not allowed to wear an overalls with a red T-shirt underneath.
Yeah, I don't know how
pal.
likeness it has to be. I don't know.
How did we get here? We were on AI. We went a little.
Well,
afield.
because AI is the step ahead of this, right?
Yes, for sure.
This is the next step, and for me, the most concerning
thing is I understand the issue, right? Like, okay, we don't want these runaway fakes to go nuts, and then nobody knows what's real anymore.
Right.
The thing is, I'm gonna get a little crazy here.
I'm ready.
We don't know what's real now.
Yes, but it'll be even worse. It's already not great.
It will be worse, but we got to see it through to the other end. It's gonna.
What? Wait, so it's
before the dawn. Okay?
It's not great. No. Oh, you think maybe AI will actually cancel AI out? They'll AI will be able to fact check it.
I don't know where it's going. I feel like it doesn't. It's gotta. I feel like we'll see. But I feel like nefarious uses for AI have already happened and will continue to happen. I don't know how bad they'll get, but I don't know.
The concern is how easy it is to use AI, like where it's going now. It's becoming easier, quicker, faster, more convincing, all that stuff. So like, how are we going to do, like, imagine the election in fucking next year, right?
Yeah. Imagine people fabricating evidence on both ends.
Stop. Okay, but this is gonna be worse because it's not like you can like. It's not like people read. I guess there's like hard evidence stuff and like shady shit that people do, but like generally, if you've dug beyond a headline, you could kind of suss out a lot of like facts more so, right? Whereas this, it's like if you have a hard video and you're like, I don't know if this is actually Joe Biden say, something racist or not, or whatever it is, right?
Right.
I don't know. It's pretty spooky to me.
I feel like it actually happening is going to come after people using it as an excuse, right? Like, I feel like, okay, we've seen AI make Joe Biden say weird shit.
Game with the boys.
Right. We've seen it happen. But I feel like politically, what we're going to see before someone makes a serious attempt at playing at like making it seem like a political figure said something they didn't, right? Before that happens, we're going to get the opposite. We're going to get someone saying something embarrassing, and then as like spin or as like damage control, they're gonna say it was AI.
Oh,
right?
like when Trump says like whatever, grab him by the pussy, you'd be like, that was AI, dude.
Yes, I feel like that excuse is going to occur before the actual.
Well, it's not even
actually doing it.
The thing is, it's not even like, it wouldn't necessarily even be like say Trump put out something of Biden, like an AI thing of Biden doing something horrible, right? It might not even be that. It could be just in like within the culture war where people aren't even a fact check and it's just convincing enough on its own video. Like all of a sudden it goes viral on some like micro celebrity's Twitter.
It doesn't even have to be even put out there as real.
Right.
But just the fact that
it just gets caught up in some echo chamber, and it's like, holy
if it's
shit.
Just some funny meme, it may have an impact.
I'll tell you what though, having the presidents playing games together is fucking hilarious. Those AIs. Have you ever seen those or no?
No.
Oh my god, they have them for like all of them, like Overwatch, Call of Duty, like the Call of Duty Zombies. I saw one. I think I saw one for League.
Just the voices of presidents playing games.
Yeah, like it's like Trump was like, oh fuck, how did Bidenator get in my lobby? We're gonna lose. Like it's just hilarious. It sounds like how gamers talk, but it's the presidents and shit. It's so good. Okay. Roblox, yeah. Yeah, it's the future's here, bro.
The robots. Yeah.
Yeah. If you could get a sex robot, would you get one?
Yes.
You would?
Oh, I mean, no.
No, I'm saying like, what if you could get
something that's way more advanced than what's currently available?
Yeah, what is it, Deus Ex Machina or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you could get a chick like that, and then, like, you couldn't really tell. You'd be like, oh,
I wouldn't make it dance with me, but yeah,
well, no.
yeah,
What if it just wanted to do? It was just quote unquote programmed perfectly to be a ideal fit for you.
I'm not in love with the idea of a person like, well, it's not really a person, of like I want a relationship with a real person. You know what I mean? That like
Right. You want to be
disagrees with
challenged in
me.
that it's not
Yeah,
like a
exactly.
right, but
Like I want
that could
a
be
partner.
programmed.
However, barring that, right? If that's not happening for me, I'm okay with the sex robot. I mean, what difference is it than just masturbation? Like, what's the difference really?
Because it might do this so many things. The company that runs it, they're gonna start saving your seed, right? And
What do you mean saving it? How are they going? What are they going to transfer it digitally?
no, they'll probably have that in the womb, banger, and they'll just have a little ice.
Oh yeah, it'll be like a black box.
Yeah, it'll be a black box with
You've
Stas.
been thinking about this clearly.
No, I haven't, but this is just off the top of my head, Stas. So they're already ahead of me. Or maybe one time it's giving you a handy and there malfunctions and rips your dong off.
I mean, it's just a realization. It's just like it's an aid, right? It's a sex toy. So
Yeah.
I don't understand what the big deal would be. I mean, yes, it's essentially a high-tech blow-up doll, and blow-up dolls are embarrassing. I'm not trying to use a blow-up doll. That's
but if
sure,
it was a
right?
robot blow-up doll, you're fine with it.
Yeah, but blow-up dolls look like shit.
I'm sure they have
like,
good ones.
The thing about blow-up dolls is that it's way worse. It's way better just to use your imagination, right? Like, just use your brain.
Well, yeah, but I'm sure that people that use blow-up dolls use the blow-up doll, and they get the physical. It's more physically like actual sex instead of jerking it with your hand, and then you can imagine it. It's a a real person or whatever it is.
Yes, but I don't know.
Pumping something and then pumping something and jerking it are definitely different actions, right?
For sure.
Yeah, so if you can pump something and then use the noggin, how did this happen? Where are we right now?
You asked about sex robots.
Yeah, but I didn't think we'd get into talking about masturbation, and I guess
Well, how do you think? What else?
No, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Do you want to get off this, or do you want to keep going?
No, I'm right here, baby. I'm here. Would you want the robot to
with the sex doll? You're masturbating.
Would
you're
you
not having sex with a robot? It's a solo act.
Would you want the robot to tell you it loves you?
No.
Would you want to say you did a good job?
No.
You don't want any conversation with this robot you're fucking?
I mean, if I could if I could program it to do some dirty talk, then yeah.
Well, good job could be part of dirty talk, or
I don't know.
Kink,
good job is
kink.
just like.
Well, it's just not your whatever. It could be like you stupid little shit. I'm gonna step on your nuts, whatever.
If we're going balls to the wall, if we're going balls to the wall sex robot, it could the variations on its dirty talk are limitless.
Right. So so say someone wanted, not necessarily dirty talk, but just whatever you want out of a sexual experience, right? Like maybe you want it to be sensual and I love you and oh.
Yeah, well, okay. Now you're asking me about how I would like to make love.
Well, no, I want to know if you want that from a robot. Or would you? Because the more you get it from the robot, the less you're doing the imaginating.
I don't know. It'd be a very weird experience. I could not tell you until me and the sex robot had some time alone.
I cannot.
So if anyone's listening out there who's running a sex robot company, I'm willing to give it a shot, but no guarantees. I'll give you an honest review.
Honest review, and we'll do a little special to our 7 viewers.
Sex dolls, and this is, I've thought about this a little bit.
Sure.
The issue for me with sex dolls is that it's not that like you're using them as an aid to live out your fantasies or whatever. It's that time you have to put in to like posing them. It's like if you want to do doggy or whatever, you have to turn that fucking doll over. You got to prop its legs up. You know what I mean? It's like you got to do work to get it to how you want it.
I
You
mean,
know?
yes.
And that moment in time, I'm sorry, gentlemen, that has to be one of the saddest moments of your life. You know what I'm saying? It's
Hold on, babe. Turn around. I'm gonna pound you from behind.
There's something sad about having to pose your sex doll.
I mean, there is okay, but like, what about? I mean, even just looking up porn, guys spend ridiculous amount of time sometimes. You know.
Oh no, yeah, sure, for sure.
So it's just the action that for you. It's not the time investment.
Yeah, it's just like it's like imagine some guy like taking a step back and be like, "Is this right? Does this look good?"
Like
you know what?
he gets out the camera to see how it looks from the front.
Exactly. Maybe a measuring tape.
Yeah.
No, I don't like the angle of the ass. A little
Gets
bit
out
more.
the little fucking what is it? The leveler.
You gotta get it just right.
Get the level out. Make sure it's even.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's wild, man. It's interesting.
I don't want it to. I don't know. I don't know what my experience, what I would like my experience to be with a sex robot. But I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I'm like that would never happen.
I'm not gonna rule things out. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna keep it 100.
Rule it out. That's yes, for sure. Yeah. Listen, there's a lot of lonely people out there. If it gives them a little comfort to make it through their day, then hey, let them go to it. Let them go at it.
But okay, but how about this though? Maybe is that
women have their toys, men can have toys too.
Men already have toys. There's fucking fleshlights and shit.
They have plenty of toys. Yes, I'm saying.
But here's the thing:
just a more complicated toy.
Do you think having these sex robots would that further disconnect us and exacerbate the problem that's happening right now?
Yes, 100%.
So wouldn't that be bad to have?
Yeah, but it's like if you're not going to fix the root causes of the issue, let's just let people have sex robots. It's like
I wish I could take that out of context and just clip it.
It's like if you're not going to work on building a community, if we're not as a society going to try to fix our ills, and we're going to keep things as bad as they are now, but then weirdly draw the line at sex robots, get out of here.
The ones that need to make them happen, like communities don't just pop out.
But this is an issue that's bigger than individuals. Okay, this is a global, or at least national,
like a cultural issue.
Yeah, it's a cultural issue that, like, okay, I'm gonna decide to go out. Well, no one's out there, so who gives a fuck?
Yeah, but how do you make that change? How does anyone make that change? It's not like one individual can be like, well, I'm gonna get everyone to do it.
Also, I should say this, right? What the fuck? I don't give a shit, Windows security. I should say this, is that one is not a replacement for the other.
What do you mean?
Right? Like, okay, maybe some men do this, but I'm never thinking my time with a sex robot is being used as a replacement to like being with a real person.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Well,
it's like it's a different experience.
It is definitely, but do you think there? Because I know, like in the incel conversation that you see in politics or whatever, cultural politics, they talk about how.
Yeah, hit me with it, please.
Well, it's like where the access to porn and jerking off is a deterrent to actually pursuing, like further pushing your boundaries and pursuing ways to find a relationship. You know what I mean?
It's like get a woman or die trying. It's like, well, at some point you have to recognize it's not working, right? And I don't know. It's like
I think there's probably some truth
looking at porn.
I'm not necessarily faulting them, but it's like it makes sense to me. Like this is just a feeling or whatever. This is just like a thought experiment. It makes sense to me that when you have access, when you have access to as much porn as we do now, like it's definitely gonna demotivate pursuing a relationship, right? It's gonna be an aspect
For
of it.
some people, maybe, yeah.
An aspect of it.
imagine.
Because like the thing is, if you're like, oh shit, like I don't know.
But this is an issue for men. It's like if that was your reason for finding a relationship, then maybe you need to reassess.
Well, no, but it's I
there
think
are
there's a
plenty
sense of
men out there
complacency.
who are only looking for a relationship so that they can have sex. I mean, you cannot deny that as a truth.
Yeah, but those people usually aren't in it for a long-term relationship. They're actually
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's who that rhetoric is geared towards.
Well, no, but the irony of that is that those are the people who are casually having sex are generally the people who are good at casually having sex. Like they're good
What's
at
that have to do with anything?
Well, because they're going out there and getting the pussy that they're doing the pickup artist and all that shit. They're just going out to the club and banging some girl and moving on.
Well, I'm not worried about that. I'm not living that incel life.
Well, no, neither am I, but wait, what?
That's like that incel. That's what they're mad about, right? Like, oh, I'm not. There's these dudes out there that they're getting all the women, and I can't get anybody.
No. Yeah, I'm not saying like that. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I kind of lost track.
I don't know. What are you saying?
I lost track. Where'd this start?
You did lose track. Get back to something. Get
grounded. Back.
Take
Repump.
a sip of your milk. Yeah, take a sip of your milk. Let's get back to zero.
Hold on. I wish I had a little sip sound effect. That'd be kind of funny.
I mean, I heard one, so you're all right.
Yeah, but it was like a drop of water. It wasn't even milk, water?
Bro. Were you drinking water out of a straw?
No, that was out of a cup.
Oh.
Did you hear it?
Okay. Yeah, I heard it.
I got good sucking skills, bro. Girls don't know that.
Then they can find out. Call 844-3261.
326169. I do think that the amount of porn and accessibility is there's got to be a negative effect.
I mean, yes, I'm sure there is.
Yeah. Because you ever think about, I saw this, I don't know if it was a tweet or someone said it or whatever, but the average person right now, anyone with an internet connection right now has more access to naked, beautiful women than any king in history. It's like,
oh yeah,
that's just
true.
Yeah, it is true, and it's just a wild thought to think about, right? It's like that kind of accessibility is, it's very powerful. And maybe we didn't take the time to.
Okay, I mean, yes, but at the same time, no, because there's two different meanings to access there, right?
Right.
Like
visual access,
those
not
kings.
Yeah.
Yeah, had physical access.
Yeah, but even then, it didn't even touch the numbers that you could access right now. At quote unquote access that you could witness, view. Yeah, porn and sex and all that stuff is very strange. To kind of wrap your head around and dissect or whatever.
Yeah, well, we're not getting to the bottom of it here.
No, brother. Leave that to the philosophers and the politicians. So yeah, to bring it back around, 770 grand for 5 inches?
No.
I wonder, how do you think they determine that? Do they just like, okay, well, is it like 40 grand per inch, or is it like this is the max we can get and it costs under? Like, how do you price that?
I don't know. It's probably whatever the market can handle.
The market or the individual? Like maybe you only have so much space in your bones. Because I think that's where they like break your bone,
I
and
thought
then
you're talking about the cost.
Well, yeah, the cost and like what's could have he gotten 7
They
inches?
charge you by the centimeter? What?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, because the thing is, the more you do, the more bones you have to crack, the more like the
Yeah.
longer the rod, right? Everything.
God, wouldn't it be wild if I went in? They're like, "Hey, yeah, we can only give you 3 inches." Fuck.
You tell
You
them
know?
to fuck off.
Yeah.
Can I get the first inch for free?
Ew.
What does the other say? Oh, there's the idea, the classic question. Would you rather have, what is it like? Would you rather get 6 inches taller or 2 inches bigger in the dong? I don't know if those
We've
are the
been
numbers.
talking about sex robots, and you stumble over saying penis or dick.
Well, I was gonna. Well, I don't know. I was just saying. What do you think? Would you rather be taller or have a bigger wiener?
6 inches.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'll take the 6 inches.
You go 6
I'm
inches up.
5'3", bro.
Huh?
It's like you find a way to remind everybody I'm 5'3" every time.
I never say
I'll go
those
to
numbers.
5'9".
I never
I'll
say
go to
those numbers.
5'9". Yeah, but you laugh deep down. You laugh.
I laugh because you laugh, friend.
Mm-hmm.
If we aren't laughing, it's just depressing. That's life.
I don't know. I feel like 5'9's normal.
I think that's above average, isn't it? Isn't it 5'8" average?
Yeah, I don't know. Might be 5'10",
Oh god.
depending on where you're at.
Yeah, that's
People
true.
are getting taller, bro. That's also an issue, especially for me, right? Generationally, people are getting taller.
I think I read somewhere that taller people actually have a shorter lifespan.
Yeah, fuck them. They shouldn't get all the benefits. They shouldn't get all the advantages.
Yeah, fuck them. They had it coming, dude.
Yeah,
They're using up all their energy way too fast being that tall.
yeah.
You're-
swinging them fucking giant limbs around.
Yeah,
Pieces of shit.
the turtle wins the race, you know? It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah, don't get me started on tall people.
Don't get me started. What's tall to you? Like where's the cutoff where you start being like, this fucking guy?
6 feet and over.
Yeah, 6 is like yeah, the exact
thing is,
number where girls are like, I want
5'11",
6.
I mean, you wouldn't hear me complain about being 5'11", but it's like it's fine. It's taller than it's a little taller than average.
Yeah.
You know, but I wouldn't say tall, right?
Right.
Once you get to 6 and up. Yeah, it also depends on where you live. However, again, people are getting tall.
They're like,
Walking around thinking they're cock of the walk.
yeah, they're just big boys. Good old Midwest farmers.
Yeah, how old Stank? I mean, how tall is Stank?
Stank's a short boy. He's what is he? 5'6", 5'7",
Good for him.
or
And
shorter?
look at him. He's happily married.
Wait,
He's not. That's a joke.
No.
I know he's not.
Janker's actually he's looking for love. He's been looking for love.
Yeah, and I wish him all the best. I wish people looking for love nothing but the best.
Yep.
It's hard out there.
Listen, if there's
tough
any
world.
ladies, my boy, he makes decent money. He's got a fishing boat, nice fishing boat. He likes to go hunt. He's classic.
Call 1-800-Korjenko.
1-800-Korjanko. Use code says discount checkout.
Get $10 off your first split bill.
Yeah.
He makes good money, but not that good money.
Nah, he'd pay for everything.
I should hope so.
Yeah, it's just the kind of guy.
Has
Yeah.
he been on any dates recently?
No, not that I know of. I hung out with him a couple weeks ago and asked him how it's going. It's
But
grim.
it's a rough world out there.
Grim. We're gonna get Janko on the show one time.
Yeah, let's get
Stanker.
Stank on the show. And once people hear that voice, you'll know why he's still single. That's a joke. I love Stank.
Not even a pause, dude. Full sentence. He has. I just talked. I think I told you. He has an AWP skin in CS:GO that's worth like $800. Like you sell that
and
shit.
He's holding on to it.
You sell that shit right now, bro.
Yeah, get 800. Can you get money out of Steam?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you can off market. I'm sure there's some third-party sites that'll do it.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. So apparently last week, 2 weeks ago or whatever, you had mentioned that, oh, people are selling their crates in CS:GO for like real money.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I said it was a
And
big increase.
yeah, it was a big increase. Like the market went wild.
Yep, because of
And
CS2.
I happen to have played CS:GO for a fair bit of time. And I accumulated just a bunch of stupid crates that I completely forgot about. And I went back and I sold all of my crates, and I ended up with and then I sold two Dota 2 items worth $10 a piece.
Damn,
So I ended up ballpark $150.
that's sick.
So I sold $150 worth of stupid virtual items to get money that I can now just spend on Steam games, and I don't have to worry about spending my money for a little while.
I mean, that's super
Crazy.
sick. I kind of like the idea of so this is I'm moving this towards like the difference. So most online games have items in them, right? Or skins and shit like that, right?
Uh-huh.
And so there's the League method or the Fortnite method, which you buy it and it's on your account and that's it. And then there's the Steam method where they have tradable items that you can trade between accounts and
Yes.
and stuff like that. Which one do you prefer?
I like the Steam way because there's this whole secondary market that it's not like, I mean, I wouldn't treat it as real money, but you can also like, hey, I'm going to hold on to this. And Steam's always taking their cut, they're always taking their pound of flesh on every transaction.
Yeah.
But you can say, hey, I have this really cool item. And hey, maybe I want to give it to so-and-so for this, for X amount of money. Why shouldn't I be able to?
Yeah. It's I kind of like that concept more, but I don't know. I wonder if that's as profitable because at the end of the day, that's what matters, right? For a business, like what's more
Yes,
profitable.
but once you sell someone a skin for $10, right? And they just have it, that's it. You gave them you got their $10. Okay? But if you sell someone a $10 skin and then you allow them to sell that skin off for whatever they get, and then you take a cut of that, you're getting more. And then if that skin trades hands several times, you're making money off every transaction. If that skin increases in value, you are gaining money. So now you're incentivized to make sick fucking skins because not only are people buying them to look cool, but they're also unloading them as like assets. They're
Right.
treating them like, oh, I'm going to make some money off this.
That's a
And so
possibility.
you're making money off every transaction as opposed to just the one.
Right, but that's a possibility. But then I don't know where the lines cross because if I buy it for $10 and then I'm like, well, I don't want any more stuff. I'm gonna sell it to you for $8, right? And then you're like, I don't want any more. I'm gonna sell it to Knox for $5 or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Instead of me, you, and Knox all buy it for $10.
Yes, but you're losing people. Like maybe Knox would have never bought it for $10.
Maybe, but I don't know. Like, look at Fortnite. I mean, people. There's no shortness. There's no shortness. There's no lack of people buying skins. Everyone I know has spent stupid amount of money on skins.
I mean, maybe it depends.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know where that line is. I wonder which is.
First off, I'm not considering it from a business perspective. I'm considering it from a consumer's perspective.
Oh yeah, from a consumer's
Valve
for
way.
sure. No shortage. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for.
Well, but there's also like, I mean, think of Dota 2. Think of the Tuesday we played Dota 2, right?
Yeah.
And Lana was like, let me get some items for my characters that I'm never going to play again.
Yeah.
But hey, this item is literally 50 cents. Why not?
Yeah,
right?
but that's a bad example because Lana will fucking. We played Across the Obelisk and he dropped $20 on skins. It's not even a multiplayer game. It's like a co-op game, right? We played it. It's like it's not MMO or whatever. What?
I said maybe that is a bad example.
Yeah, he just buys skins. That's hilarious though. Yeah, he did end up dropping like 40 bucks on the one night we played.
Yeah, so I don't know.
1,500.
I agree with Miss Merck. I feel like the price point for a lot of skins that so if we're not talking about how Steam does it, the price point for a lot of League skins or other things, it's way too high. It's weirdly high. Like like $15 for a skin or even more. Like there are skins in League that are $40, like the prestige ones,
The thing
right?
is,
But there's the top end, or the top end skins are like $20. And babe, I can buy a full game with that. I
I
can buy
agree.
a really good meal with that. I can buy well, I can't buy a full size ham. That's $50, but
You buy a
close.
half ham, dude.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, with that is, well, one, there was definitely this like League kind of was the first one to do it, at least that I saw. And I feel like when it first came out, their skins were kind of more reasonably priced. It was like $5 or maybe 10 for a good one. And then I remember like when the legendary Ez skin came out, and it was like $20, and I was like, holy shit, like that's crazy. People were like, that's crazy. But then when Fortnite came out, you remember we played right when it came out, and the Skelly Boys, and we saw how much they were, and we're like,
Skelly
fuck
Boys,
that.
Yeah.
I remember thinking, I'm like, who the fuck's gonna pay $20 for these skins, dude?
Yeah, they were all over the fucking place.
They were, yeah, the Skelly Boys fucked us. But the thing is, within 2 years, I was dumping, hundreds of dollars on skins like an idiot.
They got you hook, line, and sinker.
They got
You're
everyone.
Chump. You're a chump.
Everyone.
I never bought Fortnite skins. They didn't get me.
But you didn't play enough. If you were playing with us, then you would have fucking bought skins. I'll guarantee it.
Good thing.
You're welcome. You're welcome for that.
Guy. You're welcome. I didn't include you.
Yeah, you're welcome for that. I saved you money, bro. But then so then the other
Miss Merc. God, I love ham. Okay, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Oh yes, yeah, ham. I didn't have any ham. The other thing is, I don't remember.
One of the things that I feel like contributed to killing Heroes of the Storm is that their skins were like even more expensive.
Were they?
Like they were ridiculously expensive.
I don't even remember.
It's like, what are you doing here, people? Nobody even plays this game. You're gonna.
That's what I was gonna say. Me? The issue is like these are all AAA games that are being that are highly successful, but are free to play. So part of me is like, okay, skins are expensive, but just don't buy the skins though. Like I know what we want to, right? Everyone wants to be able to have access to the skins, but at the end of the day, you don't need any skins to enjoy the entire game. Same with like Valorant, right? And Valorant's insane too. It's like $40 for a knife skin. What the fuck?
Just ask Moon.
Yeah, she has fucking all of them. The other thing is boxes. The way they did boxes in Counter-Strike versus
loot boxes.
Yeah, so that's another thing.
It's basically gambling. Yeah. Nah, I mean, it's gambling.
It's a very strange phenomenon.
Not strange at all. It's gambling.
No, but it's strange how different, like it's completely different markets, right? Whereas one, like you buy it, you get it, and that's it. That's all you have. But there is no gambling. You know what skin you're gonna buy for $40 on Valorant. The other one is like you could dump hundreds of dollars and never get a knife. I did it.
Yes, 100%.
But once you got it, dude, then you can maybe make some money off of it. And that's kind of it further incentivizes the gambling, right? Like if you couldn't trade it, then it's still gambling, but you're not actually getting value out of it. You're not winning anything that you can like make money on. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So
gamblenomics.
It kind of makes me think that the League or Fortnite way is less corruptible.
Yeah, 100%.
Less predatory, maybe even.
It's way more upfront. Yes, League, Fortnite, it's way more upfront. There's no gray area where it's like, hey, give us $5 for a chance of getting something really good, but most likely you're gonna get some voice lines.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, dude, I do like opening up those crates, man.
Yeah, I know. Everybody does. That's why they're so popular.
The rush I get when I see that knife go by.
In what? Counter-Strike?
I mean, yeah, I did. I probably spent like $100 or $200 on those crates or whatever back when I played in like 2013 or whatever it was.
Dang.
What, you didn't spend that much?
No.
Wow.
And you had probably spent, I don't know, I want to say as much as high end $30. Maybe. Wow.
Well, because the keys, it was the keys that were so expensive, right? You could earn
you're also
crates.
Friends with Bolt Boy, and he doesn't, he keeps it reined in.
What? Oh, he locks you down?
Oh, because he's not. No, not really.
Oh,
but he's not spending shit.
Oh, really?
Although, even because yes, he's very tight with it.
That's hilarious.
However, Even he opened some cases back in the day. That's how bad it is. Because
If it got Bolt Boy, you're in trouble.
Boy, you know it's addictive.
That's hilarious. Didn't didn't you get him to buy a game that we ended up quitting like a week later?
Oh yeah, 100%. Crowfall.
That's what it was. Oh, he must have been real proud,
Yeah,
real
that's
happy
exactly
about
the
that
shit
one.
He hates too. I keep telling him, I don't convince him. I'm basically anytime I'm into a game and he's like, "Hey, is this something you're going to be playing?" I'm like, "Don't
No.
jump to any conclusions."
What is the
Yeah,
test of time? Like, how do you
I
know?
wish Crowfall was good.
Me too. It was actually the gameplay was very fun. It was the macro was not fun.
Yeah, how they set it up.
Yeah, the micro was
They need some
fun.
time in the cooker. Come back when you're ready.
I think it's done. It's gone.
No, it's not gone. They're going to re-release it. That's the idea anyway.
Oh, really?
It's back into development.
Well, good. It should, like, the thing is, it has the potential to be a great game.
We'll see.
Listen, just give me the power and I will make the great game. You know?
I mean, I would love to be going out and, sneaking into a graveyard and farming body parts for my new body, right? Yeah. That's fun. But, I don't want to run into a gang of 40 people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Make it skirmishes. There needs to be
tighten it up.
Resets, right? Go give me seasons so that people like, because every time there's seasons like Tarkov wipes and shit like that when you
it gets people hype.
Yeah, it gets me hype. I'm like, oh shit. Yeah, it's a new fresh start. Everyone's starting a blank slate. That's awesome.
Consider playing Tarkov again.
Yeah, exactly. I think also I think they have loot drop? They did, right? In Crowfall?
Loot drops?
Like you died, when you died you dropped your loot.
Oh.
I think you dropped everything that you didn't have equipped or something like that,
I believe
right?
So. Yeah, there's something along those lines.
I very much like that because it makes
any mats you harvested.
Right, yeah. Sure. Makes PvP have consequences. And then what they lacked was, well, obviously besides the macro being not great with trying to do like 40v40 shit. Besides that, give me procedurally generated shit. It could even be like for the whole season, right? But if I know that the next season's gonna have new lands to explore and new things to find and shit like that.
Right. The one season where it's like, hey, I found the pumper tree.
Yeah.
Nobody can get up here, and I just wrecked everybody.
Yeah. I found the secret spot that's super cool right now. Or I found this sick
really good nodes over here, and no one goes to them.
Yeah, exactly. And then the other thing with that is like anytime like you can look up guides for like any MMO, like wow, it's like, oh, here's the fucking path. This is the most efficient path to harvest iron, and you can get to level 60 on 2 runs or whatever. And it's like, that's I don't want a hard and fast rule.
Yes, any game that's solved like that.
Yes, solved.
Like all the fun is sapped out of it.
Yes, exactly. Solved. That's exactly the word I'm looking for. Hey, Hardy Parish. Fuck you, dude. How do I do this? I need adult.
Oh my god. Get him out of here.
Wait, how do I actually do this?
You don't know how to mod your own channel?
Ban, there it is. Oh, hell no. Yeah, so yeah, I think we covered most of that. Let's see. We have another topic here.
Yeah, let's move on. .org.
Moving on.
I still see the message.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
Oh, am I bugged?
Yeah, probably.
Mary. Why you bugging? Okay.
Okay, here. So this was a tweet I stumbled. I think I did, right? I'm here. What's the scoop? What's up, Commander Manor? You got gifted a sub by Big Jim.
You missed all the good topics.
You did. We were talking about sex bots. Short
okay,
kings.
what are we talking about next, though?
Okay, so this is a tweet on Twitter.
Okay.
Surprise.
Well, that's where a tweet is found.
Let me just actually let me pop this up.
7 Cortex. God damn it!
No, we already delayed it by an hour for you.
Yeah, exactly. It's give and take.
I did this for you. All right, so To Elon Musk, 1, is this a violation of TOS, calling for genocide of Ukraine? 2, how is a terrorist state verified? 3, why did you allow Russian leaders back onto the platform, lifting Twitter regulations against Putin and Russian officials? 4, why are you not abiding by sanctions? So, and he quote tweets Dmitry Medvedev, which I'm guessing, yeah, some Russian government official. And I'm not going to read this all. This is so long. But basically, I'm assuming it's about the Russian and Ukrainian war. And insolent slur. Can I even show this? I don't even know.
Well, you are.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of contentious language and ideas here.
Okay.
The question I have is, considering this is about a war that is literally taking place right now in the world, is it a good idea? Would it be a good idea to remove this person from the platform, or do we want access to what this person is thinking or saying or doing, like or these entities, right? Like the Russian government.
Yeah, I know. I think this and other things, they kind of boil down to like, is Twitter a public forum or not? And the prevailing idea is that it's not. I think it should be, but it's not. So this kind of stuff wouldn't have a place there. Right?
Wait, why do you think it's not, or how?
Because we do regulate it. It is regulated, right? Like it's not a place where people can share whatever ideas they have, even if they're incredibly dog shit, right?
Well, it's regulated. It has to have some regulation, right? It can't be the absolute Wild West.
Well, why not?
Because you don't want things like you can't where you're just gonna have like child pornography or like, right, the absolute extremes that we know are wrong by.
Okay, yes, sure,
right. So there has to be at least a bare minimum regulation.
Yes, but this isn't that. This is like basically political opinion.
Right,
yeah?
right. But I'm saying, so there has to be a baseline of it. At the very least, I think everyone can agree there has to be a baseline.
Like, baseline, for sure.
And so where is the line past that for it to be considered regulated or not regulated, right? Or a public forum or not, right? Even if it is the world forum for everyone to express opinions and stuff, we still don't want grotesque shit.
I feel like this is a very dangerous road to go down, because as we continue to regulate more and more speech, what we are doing in essence is drilling down to conformity. We're just drilling down to a base, like a very incredibly moderate level of opinion on things, right?
Right. So you can't have
right, and it's strange, and it's like, okay, you don't want to see people using racist. You don't want to see people being racist or sexist or
evil,
prejudice, or just saying evil shit. Sure, you absolutely don't want to say that, but there's also value in understanding what these extremes are. Like, if you don't have an appreciation for just how extreme some of these people are, you're not going to be able to understand, like,
what they're
how
capable
bad
of.
it is.
Yeah.
Right. Or like what the situation, like if you think everyone's like, oh, we're just disagreeing about this, it's like, well, okay. But also sometimes radical opinions can be correct or true, or I'm not saying in the case of this Russia nonsense.
Right,
I'm saying
right.
Sometimes unorthodox opinions are needed to like shake up a very like just
right, break the mold.
People need to understand that the world was round at some point.
Right.
I mean, like,
right.
So
dissenting of views.
If you don't have unpopular truth tellers, like for instance, someone who like stuck by their guns and said, no, this lab theory has legs. With respect to COVID, it's like, if you silence those voices simply because your censors have determined this is not like what people in the mainstream are saying, then you're doing a disservice to your platform.
And that did happen, right? With that specific example.
Yes, exactly. That did happen. So you're playing a weird game. I'm not saying there are easy solutions here, especially because Twitter is,
private company.
It's a company, so they're not like They're
Well,
not trying to be a public forum.
well, I think isn't that what Elon Musk why he bought it? Like he or at least says like he wanted it to be a more
He
open.
made it to make money. I don't think you're gonna have to do some hard work to convince me that
Right, that was
he had some altruistic motives
what
here.
would you say, the testimonial, or what was it called, the poem?
Yeah, testimonial,
Yeah.
exactly. He made all this money so that he could give the world a free speech Twitter.
I think that at the very least it's better than what it was in that regard.
Mhm. Listen, before we move on and talk about this some more, I just want to really give you a star, okay? Because you connected poetry to the real world,
A
okay? And that's something every teacher just wishes for from the bottom of their heart, right? That makes people feel good. You know
So I
what?
get a gold star.
Good for you. Good for you.
Thanks,
You
buddy.
did good today. Um, on the other hand, this forum is set up in such a way as, again, we've talked about this before, the dogpiling and the mass messaging that people can be inundated with on Twitter is also an issue. So, and it's like, on the one hand, you want to protect a lot of this speech, even if it's unpopular,
Right.
even if you feel it's gross and incredibly wrongheaded and quote unquote dangerous. There's value in having it around because you don't want to be silenced when it comes to you.
Right.
If you
Right.
have
You
the
have to
unpopular
tolerate
opinion.
things that you hate so that
Right.
because you don't if the power changes hands, then all of a sudden you're the silenced one, right?
Yeah.
That's a risk that you run.
Yeah. And it's like, yes, you don't want that, but you also don't want people, getting on Twitter and like calling
Dogpiling people.
Palestinians subhumans, you
Right.
know? Um, it's just a weird,
Well,
it's
I think for me personally, where I stand currently is it's like you have to have it open for everyone, right? The way what you're saying. That's the healthiest way to have it because I agree that regulating it is going to turn it into propaganda, right? Whoever is in control is going to be able to tell everyone what to think.
right. Or it's like you're only allowed there's only a certain range of opinions allowed,
Right.
and it's basically what mainstream media is on both sides, that there's a certain range of opinions that are allowed in on these channels, and anything outside of that is just ignored and not talked about, and it's stifling.
But so okay,
And okay, go
so
ahead.
for this example specifically, right? It's a current day war. It's someone from the Russian government, talking about what they believe and what they're doing and all that stuff.
Okay.
Do you think it should be removed from Twitter and they should be banned from Twitter? Or do you want
It's
them on
already
Twitter?
labeled. This person's account is already labeled as a Russian official,
Right.
right? They're not calling out anybody specific, like, hey, to the Ukrainian living on 46th Street, you're a piece of shit. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, it's a general war posturing. It's not nice to read.
No, yeah,
It's not
yeah.
like, um, but I think it's important to understand like what the Russian talking points are. Like,
Right, exactly.
if you want to combat, if America was serious about combating Russian propaganda, I don't know, maybe we should know what Russian propaganda is,
Right.
uh, and it's like there's this weird idea that we can't talk about it or we can't see it, and it's like, well, you have to at some point let people to make their own decisions, even if that means a portion of the population is going to believe it.
So, okay, so then this is kind of like this is where I'm not sure what I think, okay? So this one makes sense to me. Like I'd be like, "Hey, this should stay on because specifically it's a Russian government official during a war that is relevant to the whole world." And so like they said that this person cited like, "Oh, hey, there's hate speech in this and blah blah blah." Do you think that hate speech in general should be accepted on the or like allowed on the platform? Or like for me it's like when all of a sudden you have like individuals just like saying like, oh, like say they went on like a racist thing where they talk about how black people are terrible and they should be eliminated from society or something horrible like that, right?
Yeah, if all accounts were tied to a real person, yes.
Oh, then you think it's okay that, or then
Yeah,
you'd be okay with
yeah.
people having the
I
free
would be
reign?
okay with yeah, I'd be okay with it. And again, I'm as quote unquote normal as they come. I'm a cishet white guy,
Yeah.
you know, who lives in America. So it's like there's very few things you could say that would offend me, right? Except perhaps short men are should go die in a hole,
Yeah.
But
Maybe hairy men
even
too.
then, even then, yeah, short hairy goblin men are not worth the skin they occupy.
And you know what? If they
Um,
depend on glasses to see, terrible.
yeah, gross.
Terrible.
Um, where was I going with this? Oh, so it's like I'm not really a case for this. Like I'm not a
I
person
see.
who's part of a
You're not
vulnerable
the one
group.
that's gonna get hit
Right.
by
I'm
allowing
not the
this
one,
stuff.
yes, I'm not the one who's gotten dogpiled. I'm not the one who's going to get inundated with these
Yeah.
sorts of messages from people who are, racist or sexist or prejudiced in some way.
Yeah.
So I'm not the guy to go to. However, uh, it doesn't, it, I would be okay with it if these messages could not be deleted and you had to like take accountability for whatever it is you say.
Well, how
So
do you
like if
see?
you're in a public forum, like, and I mean like an old school like Greek public forum where literally if you wanted to go speak in front of people you had to go out to into the market square or whatever the fuck and like orate, like you had to put yourself out there. It was you saying those words. So that's what I would want. I would not real accountability, no usernames, no nothing. It's
Well,
you.
here's the okay. So this is a kind of a different topic where I'm not sure how I land about anonymity online, like whether it should be there or not. Because I hear a lot of people say like, yeah, let's get real names out there so that when you say something, you can be held accountable, right? And I understand that perspective and I like that perspective. However, it also opens up a door for letting people do evil things to people. Like you could have
100%.
someone trying to do, or like even like female Twitch streamers all of a sudden they want to have a Twitter, right? And then you have some crazed fan go and stalk them because they got their real name because of this, right?
Yes, 100%.
And it's like,
Yes.
how do you,
I'm not saying it's a perfect solution or even it's a solution I would like to implement.
you're saying
But
it's a
if
solution
that
or a
system would
possibility?
not bother me and from the perspective of like people saying what
Yeah,
they
proper
want to say.
accountability.
Because listen, I don't want to hear people's racist diatribes, right? But I would like to know who's the fuck is racist,
Yeah.
right? Like if some guy wants to go on a tirade, great. Now I know what this guy's about, right?
Maybe just get community markers that people can upvote and be like, hey, this guy's racist. And he just has a little badge next to his name.
Yeah. They just accrue shame badges, but then shame badges become popular and
Yeah.
people accrue them for clout.
Or, but then maybe then it turns into like the fucking like dystopian social systems where it's like you end up having to fall in line with a certain ideal so that you don't have any of these shame
Right.
badges.
Anonymity is important in like you say. You don't want to get people doxxed. You don't want to put people in danger of just absolute, just unhinged people who are willing to do wild things, right? And again, we live in a global society now where like hey you get a hold of someone's name and
Yeah.
you can find everything about them and hey you can be on a plane to get over to where they live and do stupid shit, whereas
Yeah.
before it's like well okay the odds of you having an absolute wild person in your community were low because your community was small.
Yeah.
And no one's getting on a plane for
Bill from
that.
Arkansas wasn't hunting down Lady Di from
Yes.
France.
Yes. You mess. I don't know. You.
What?
I don't know the names and origins you used.
Well,
Okay.
Lady Di from France was the guild mistress in my UO days.
Oh.
I don't know who Bill from
Okay.
Arkansas is. I don't know. I just
Next
picked.
would be Bill Clinton.
Oh, oh, and Di, Lady Di, Princess Di.
Yeah.
Not
I
France
guess I'm
though.
not understanding. Okay.
Bill from Arkansas.
So
That's good.
I don't. It's. I understand both sides. I
Yeah.
don't. It's. Eh, eh.
It's yeah. It's
I don't
hard for
know.
me to like commit to one or the other because they both have different values. And I wonder.
I'd be Go ahead.
I wonder if like so like do you think that like kind of maybe the current legal system, at least in America, like where it's like you can't incite violence on a specific person, and that's like, do you think that could be enough to cover it and be like, so like maybe your name is tied to your account but it's not public for everyone?
I don't like relying on the idea of the justice system, which is borked, right? It's basically it's a game of either who has more time or who has more money, right? Like you could tie someone up in legal battles
Yes,
forever.
for sure. But the problem is, whether it's the U.S. justice system or like Twitter's justice system, there's always going to be issues, right? So like, say Twitter got to say like, if you break these laws, we're going to dox you on the internet. We're going to dox you to the platform or whatever.
They're not going to dox them.
Well, right, no, but like I'm saying, like let's go extreme with it, like the hypothetical. Like then someone still has to go through that. There's some sort of judiciary that could be corrupted, or I don't know. The power causes problems.
Yeah, yes, it does, but I don't know. I guess I don't really know what the solution would be.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I do, generally speaking, I do like the idea of let people say what they think. Sunlight is the best disinfectant, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So let everyone say their ideas and
you're not going to
happens.
Eradicate ideas by banning books from your library, for instance, right? It's better to like have those books there so that when people read them and ask questions, you have answers. You have
100%, 100%. I agree. So yeah. So moral of the story: Stas supports Russia.
Shut up.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It was a funny joke in my head. I'm like, wait, someone might take that wrong. Yeah. All right. Well, those are the two I wanted to talk about.
Didn't we have another one?
I don't know. Did we?
Oh yeah. No, I mean we did, but we can. How long have we been going?
Hour 50.
Hour 50. What do you like? Do you want to keep going? You got something else?
We don't know with the medium C. We did.
Yeah. Why is it medium?
Well, because the big C is cancer.
Oh yeah. Okay. I don't know what the C's are.
I just made that up. I don't know.
All I know is the C word.
C word? Kunt. All right. I didn't even read this. I just read the art. I mean the headline. So
no, I mean we don't have to talk about it. But I didn't even know that this was out there. Okay, so I'm out here scrolling websites. I looked at a little bit of news, and I come across an article that basically is putting forth the idea. I got into some wild conspiracy theory territory somehow, right?
You're looking up flat Earth again?
No, I wasn't. I was what I thought to be a fairly normal website, right? And then it was an article about how not only it was basically how COVID didn't ever exist.
That's
it was a made-up virus. Not only was it like the whole, and if you're talking about whether it was from a lab or not, you have been propagandized.
You've already been duped.
Right? Yeah, you've already been duped. That's not even what it's about. The real story is that the global elite have tricked us into believing that this virus was real when it is, in fact, it's not. No one has been able to isolate it. Blah, 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 blah. And then it's like, it goes on to be like, anyone who died from the virus was basically due to, like, it was their comorbidities that killed them. It wasn't the virus. Old people who were dying in droves, especially in New York State, which was a very serious issue. They were basically put to death. They were killed by the state. And it was a pretty much like some sort of global plan to, I don't know what exactly the purpose of it was. Maybe
exact their control over the population.
Yeah, I don't know how or where Cobra Commander comes into this, but I guess they're involved somehow.
Wait, right? Actually?
No.
Oh, I was like, that would be
G.I. Joe. I'm making a G.I. Joe reference.
I know, but I'm like, dude, no way.
Yes, it was the most wild thing I had ever read, and it's like, how do you get there? How do I like? I understand some conspiracy theory talk, right? But there comes a point where it's like, how could you possibly believe that everything is so?
Have you like the thing that blew my mind when I saw this? It's like, have you ever tried to organize a group of people, like even for like a get together, right? You just
Yeah,
trying to organize
sure.
your family to get together for like Thanksgiving. It's like you think that you got like hundreds or thousands of people
Right.
coordinating this across the globe and
Right.
no
So
one said a
to be
word?
required, yeah, to be required for this to work, it's like doctors, politicians, and all kinds of people have to be in on it, right? And they have to know the truth, but they don't. But like they're not telling anybody.
Yeah, but we're talking about like
And
all of the doctors and all of the politicians.
you come to realize that certain conspiracy theorists they find comfort in conspiracy theories because their conspiracy theories are orderly, right?
Mm,
Everyone is in on this. There's a very strict order here. There's a hierarchy. There's people in control, the Rothschilds or some other conspiracy theory group, the Illuminati or whatever. They're in control and they're controlling other people, and that's how this world is run, right?
yeah.
When in fact they don't want to even consider the possibility that it's fucking chaos all the time.
Yeah. They want order to the chaos.
Right. They want order to the chaos because they want orderly lives. They want to believe that things work how they work. And when things didn't work out how they wanted, they needed a reason. And it can't be that things are fucking random. It has to be that the state is acting, to control the entire population or some stupid shit.
Well, you mean like a perceived random? Nothing's really random, right?
No, things are random. Chaos theory is real.
No, things aren't random.
No, things are absolutely random.
No.
I mean, unless you're a Calvinist, no.
What's a
things are random.
Calvinist?
A Calvinist is someone who believes in determination. Everything has there's a cause and effect for everything, going back to the first cause.
But don't you think
right?
you don't think that's possible?
Right now, we're not making choices, right? Like this is just what we were going to be doing anyway because of cause and effect.
But don't you think that if you knew all of the physics and all of the rules, right? Everything about how everything interacts, like down to the atom or even lower, right? Don't you think that if you knew all of that, you'd be able to
No.
but calculate what happens?
No, I believe at the subatomic level, things are moving around randomly.
I can't be randomly. What is randomly?
That without prediction.
It's not about prediction. It's calculated. It's an algorithm.
Think
it's
about
math.
the weather, for fuck's sake, right? Like,
yeah, but I bet you if you knew all of my theory, my idea, maybe I'm a Calvinist. I don't know. My idea is that if you knew all of the variables, you would have the answer at the end of the equation. But it's impossible for any human to know it because there's just too many, right?
no.
It's impossible to know.
I disagree.
So you think that man, I don't even know how to word it. Like I find it so hard. Like random can't just be. Like even in computers, there isn't random. It's based off of like the time, right?
Yeah, that's a computer. That's an imperfect. That's a thing we created.
I understand that, but I'm saying like, how could there be random in the world? What actually is random then? Because random is like saying it's just doing something randomly. I don't like, you know what I mean? It's like how can that possibly be
chaos, bro?
But saying that things are random because it's chaos isn't an answer either.
It's because I think at a certain level, things are they're not predetermined, right?
But like
I don't know. I don't know how to explain
with
it.
science and math that we have.
Malcolm, okay, I can't explain chaos theory to you.
Okay, well, how about you hold my hand and drip some water on it?
That's what he's doing. Good. I'm so glad you picked up that reference because that's what he's doing. He's explaining chaos theory.
But that's not. There's nothing random about that. If you knew how the Earth was spinning and
no, he's saying that there absolutely is something random about it. Is that you just do not know. It's impossible to know.
It's impossible to know, but that doesn't mean it's random.
No. See, you're not saying impossible to know. You're saying practically impossible to know. There's a difference.
No. I think for a human being, it's impossible to know. You can't. The human being could never do it.
Yes, exactly. But that's not what Ian. That's not what our boy Ian is saying.
What's he saying?
He's saying you cannot know. Like not just human beings. Nobody can know.
Well,
It can do a bunch of different things. That water drop down the hand, and we're going so inside. Nobody knows what the fuck we're
people
talking
know
about.
that scene. If
Right?
you don't
Well,
know that scene, get
people
the fuck out of this.
know that scene. Do you understand? Not everybody here has seen the original Jurassic Park.
Then why are they watching this fucking
I don't know why
podcast?
they're watching, because they think you're hot.
Oh yeah, me, my little stash.
Yeah, with your stash and your man bun, they want to get close to you.
Get close,
Snuggle
baby.
up.
Get close while I tell you how it's fucking all predicted. It's all Calvinism,
Yeah.
baby.
It was predetermined you'd be into me.
I was the only possible route for your life to be here right
Yeah,
now.
also, with under your idea, there's no multiverse. What an unsexy world you live in. Gross.
Well, I mean, does it actually? I mean, I haven't really thought that out, but maybe there. Why
Yeah,
is
you haven't. You've been
multiverse
too
need?
busy.
Huh?
Well, the multiverse needs, because if there's no randomness, right? It's only one universe.
Why would that
Everything is
be?
playing out exactly as it's supposed to.
Yeah, because it's perfect.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, if you believe we're in a perfect world.
Not
I
perfect
got
for
a
the
word to
individuals.
tell ya.
Perfect for what it's supposed to be.
What's it supposed to be?
What it is.
Dollface. What is it supposed to
It's
be?
supposed to be what it is.
Oh my god. You're not even funny. You're a piece of garbage.
Then why are you laughing?
Calm down.
So yeah, the medium C. The other thing that's wild. Okay, so that's like the far end of like conspiracy theories that way. But I think it's also fucking wild, like how, like we were talking earlier about how like on social medias, if you questioned the narrative, they they straight up banned you from like YouTube and Twitter and shit like that. That's fucking crazy to me.
Yes, it is dangerous to a degree that you don't. It's hard to understand. It's hard to like ask questions. It's hard to find truth.
Yeah.
That's, I think, what the core of the issue is that it's hard to find out what is true. It is, and this is going to go back to a crisis of faith I had in my profession. Because as a school librarian, it was my job to teach website verification.
Ooh.
So when these little fucking sixth graders are going on and doing their little research projects, they need to find a website in which they can spew their stupid facts from. So I have to teach them how to determine whether a website is credible or a website is full of shit, right? And I would do this for a few years. Like, hey, here's what we're looking for. We're looking for a outlet that like is reputable, that people know about, that people trust and respect, right? Like,
Wait. Before we go down further, so are these things that you were taught like and getting your degree, or like where are you getting the credentials for this to like that you're passing on to them? What are the rules that where do the rules that you're passing on to the kids from you come
what
from?
I was taught, and like,
Is there
just
official?
basically my own thoughts?
Yeah, okay,
No,
so
there's
it's not
no
official. It's
official
your
document.
take.
Yeah, well, what's official?
Well, I don't know if there's like official like rubrics or what. I don't know, right? Like a college standard, maybe.
How do you know what's true? Like, I'm not gonna teach college standards to a sixth grader.
Well, okay, maybe you took that as
Yeah,
inspiration and dumbed it down.
On top of that, what truth is not something so easily defined with a few rules, right?
You don't think?
Like, how do you determine what's credible? How do you determine that something is credible or not, right? So what are the ways we can do that? Basically, you gotta okay, let's establish what are the website's credentials. Like, let's say they are trying to find out biological information. Okay, this website's put on by a professor. Oh, they're a professor of engineering. Well, that doesn't really have anything to do with biology, right? And it's not bioengineering. So that's already a mark against them. Or, is this is a news article? Well, what site is this
What
from?
outlet?
Okay.
Yeah.
Do they have a physical newspaper? That used to be a consideration. Do they have an editorial board?
He used to be a consideration.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And it's like, you want people to do basic due diligence. That's basically what I was teaching them, how to do basic due diligence.
Yeah.
But all that shit these days, all that shit can be faked, and all that shit is essentially meaningless for their stupid purposes of like finding out if like, aliens are real or something. I don't know what the fuck they're researching. I don't care.
Where does Pikachu live?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, okay, are you not on the dumbest website possible? Okay, you're good. You know, basically what it boiled down to. But I had a crisis of faith about it because it's like, well, what is the fucking truth? You know, it
Yeah.
is so hard to find to like find a source that's credible, right? Because each source generally has their own biases
Oh, it's almost
and
impossible not to have a bias, right?
issues and yeah, yes, but it's not just a matter of bias. They also have their own inaccuracies. They
Mistakes,
have
yeah.
their own issues, right?
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
something like the New York Times, they have issues. They're
Especially.
not just reporting facts, right?
Right.
And my critique of the New York Times is from the left and yours is from the right, but whatever. Um, the thing is, it's like, well, I can't, how do I, it's like, I don't know if I could call this credible or not. You have to just take it on an individual basis. Let me read this. Let me fact check. You have to like basically cross check this information with other people. And the thing
And
is, it's like one of the biggest ways we could find information credible is if you could find that information corroborated on other sites. Like, oh, everybody seems to be saying X. So it's likely that X is true, right?
right, right. Like when you
However,
yeah.
the more quote mainstream the media is, the more orthodox the opinion becomes, right? So X becomes just what everybody says, right? That you can find. But X may not be true, right?
Right.
X just may be what the mainstream wants
Sound
you.
like a real conspiracy theorist
I
suddenly.
know, I know. The X just may be what the mainstream believes to be true, and without any basis in reality. So
And this
you have
ties
to
back
have
in
some room. You have to have some room for
the possibility.
disagreements,
Yeah.
for digression. You have to have some room for people to say, "Wait a minute, guys, this horseshit they've been selling you, it ain't right." Because news itself is not as like independent as we would like to believe. Like a lot of major news outlets, they get their news from one source. They get their news from Reuters or Associated Press.
Right.
Like these are like meta news companies that like put out news for other news companies to take and then report on.
That's crazy.
So if the Associated Press article's wrong, right? Everybody else is going to be wrong.
I think that's why there's a big draw in like the YouTube news area, right? Where you got individuals actually, it's more, I don't, maybe journalistic, where you know what you're getting, right? When you watch like Hassan, like for all of his biases, you know that it's Hassan. It's not like this, it's not like watching CNN where CNN's like, hey,
Right.
this is
You
the
know, it
news.
doesn't have an editor coming down and being like, "Hey, we're gonna take it. We're gonna take this angle.
Right.
Okay, we're gonna talk about this. We're not gonna mention that." And it's not like I would. I mean, it's not like Hassan doesn't self-editorialize himself.
Right.
I mean, of course he does. That's how it works. But there's something appealing about the individual, that like individualistic
Yep.
notion where it doesn't have this sort of like, "Hey, this is we have the force of MSNBC behind us, so you gotta believe us."
Well, not only
whatever we say goes.
yeah,
Or whatever.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's no system behind it saying, "Hey, we are the law," sort of thing.
For instance, and this is one of the weirdest things I ever seen. Apparently, Fox News is not going to cover the Pentagon leaks
The hell?
because the government asked them not to.
What?
They're not going to talk about the leaks that happened from the Pentagon, basically like, revelations that the US has been and pretty much always has been spying on very close allies like Israel and South Korea and things like that, like very closely watching them, right? They won't report on it. And you would think the opposite would be true, right? You'd think they'd be chomping at the bit, right?
Well, especially because I don't know. When I think of Fox News, I think of like Republicans, and they generally want like a smaller government, or they don't like this.
So it just seems it's so strange that they would decide not to.
Yeah. Well, wait. So the other news outlets didn't do that, or
I don't know about the other news outlets. All I had seen was like the Fox's statement that
they made an official statement like, "Hey, we're not going to cover this."
I believe so. Yeah,
That's weird.
unless what I saw was fake.
Well,
You know,
and that's
and
the
that's
AI, Stas.
yes, exactly. That's part of the problem is that we just don't have time to sit there and find out what the truth is,
That's a
right?
big
No,
part of it.
I don't want to sit around all day and figure out, okay, let's get to the bottom of this story. Let's consider all the opinions and then find out what the truth is. I don't have that kind of time. That's what journalists are supposed to do for people. Find out information and report it so that they can know what's going on in the world.
That's
But when
100%
you
true.
introduce this level of spin, this level of bias that we have now, right? You don't get that. You're getting a filter. And don't misunderstand me. Those biases have always existed, but they have been amped up since 24-hour news stations have become a thing. Ever since the OJ trial, which was the dawn of 24-hour news, we have like turned media into something that was never supposed to be.
Yeah, well, not only that, yeah, the news isn't about being accurate. It's about getting hits, right? It's about being popular. It's about getting. That's why outraged news is so much more successful than like, hey, this kid saved a dog, right?
Right.
People want to know about the
That's why
fire
my
that killed
mother
12 people.
that's why my mother is in love with Rachel Maddow. You know, like it's just that's her girl. You know what I mean?
Oh
Doesn't whatever
God,
she gets on to say, she's
that's her.
it's all good.
That's her saint.
Right. If you're on MSNBC personality, she loves you, right? If you're fucking Nicole Wallace, who works at MSNBC, but used to be a press secretary, was a press secretary for George Bush.
Really?
Yeah.
Strange.
It's a as George Carlin says, it's all a big club and you're not in it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, it's wild.
I don't know what the truth is anymore, and I don't have the time to find out.
Yes.
So it's like I just kind of hope I'm getting good information.
That's what I agree with 100%. It's like, I think when I first even like dipped my toes into paying attention to politics and news and shit like that, I remember like it was like back in like around the 2016 election cycle, and everything that came out about anything was the headline that sounded so terrible. And if I spent, 30 minutes or an hour looking a little deeper, I'm like, well, this isn't entirely true, right? It's made out to be worse than it is, or it's completely untrue, or it's trying to like make it seem like it's just not true. It's not hard facts. It's like I don't, and then you get into arguments with people online or whatever, or you disagree with them or even friends, and it's like, dude, I don't want to sit here and go point by point, spend an hour for each thing just to have a conversation with you about which headlines are true and which ones aren't. It's exhausting. It's exhausting to verify news.
It's exhausting. It can go endless. It just seems endless, and it gets people to tune out. Just I feel like it exhausts people into just not caring, and maybe that's by design, or at least like that's a acceptable byproduct of all this stupid news. But I mean, if you were a global conspiracy theorist, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's what they're doing.
This is fucking Georgie Soros,
so
dude.
They could have control. Yes, George Soros. They want you to not care and go back to your iPad and play your stupid games because they're ruling the world. That's the mission accomplished."
Hey, you mock it, Stas, but you're going right up that alley.
But I feel like it just doesn't matter. Like they want people to be outraged. You're gonna get tired of it after a while, but it just you'll come back.
Well, yeah. It's fuck politics, bro. The other thing is, yeah, like when you get a new president, I remember when Trump got into presidency, and then when maybe back even when Obama was in presidency, and like people were talking about like, oh, he's from Kenya and blah blah blah, and everyone acts like when these presidents take over that all of a sudden their life's just gonna absolutely go to hell, and it's like the presidents have more power than they probably should, but like your day-to-day life is probably gonna be pretty similar. It ain't gonna fucking come overnight and just destroy you.
Unless it does.
Well, and then you'll be happily surprised that you don't have to deal with the bullshit anymore.
Yeah, all I want to do is get paid and play Path of Exile. Okay, I'm not worried about anything else.
What about League?
That's not true. I'm not. Yeah, League 2.
And robot sex robots.
Yeah, and sex robots.
Or maybe just a
Well,
nice
I
lady
mean, yeah.
that wants the same things. She wants a sex robot next to your sex robot.
It seems so simple. You know what I mean? It's meeting someone and seems so simple. Hey, I want someone to spend time with. Do you want to spend time with me? Yeah, I do. Okay, let's do it. You know, it's a very simple idea that is so complicated in
Wait,
execution.
but that's
That's why
me. I spend
meeting
time with you.
people. I know, buddy, but we're not gonna bone.
Oh, so there
I'm
has to be
sorry.
bone in now?
No, but um,
Wait, doesn't there?
doesn't there? Yes, there does. I mean, if you were gonna replace my sex robot, then yeah.
No, I'm I'm saying could you be in a like a long-term relationship with someone who is asexual?
Yeah, I could.
So it'd just be like the comfort and the companionship
I
and
mean, yeah, but there would be romance. I mean, but romance doesn't equate to sex always. Okay, so yeah,
yeah, that's fair.
it would be romantic. You know, I'd have fuzzy feelings toward that person. And you know what? I like you. We could cuddle on the couch for a little while, watch a show. I don't care. We'll put on The Office. You know, we'll
I
giggle.
love The Office.
But you know, I'm not. There's not going to be any feelings of romance there. Sorry.
So how would you handle it? Just a lot of jerking? Not me, like the asexual partner.
Come full circle. Yeah, yeah, basically.
Sex robot. You'd have a sex robot on the side.
Yeah.
What if she didn't like that?
Well,
That's cheating
then
on
we'd
her.
have to have some conversation.
That would be
We'd have to have a
very
conversation. It's a robot.
that'd be very fucked. I don't want to have sex with you, but you can't have sex with other people either, or other things.
Yeah, that would not be the great. That wouldn't be
That wouldn't be kosher.
right. It's like, hey, I mean, it's be like, hey, listen, I don't know, I'm not interested in sex, but
Like ever.
you can't use that fleshlight you bought or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, well, let's have a conversation.
You're just not letting me be a human
I'm not
being.
having my needs met here.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I mean. It's just we went back. We went around.
That's
somehow.
perfect. That's how that's what you want. We'll go full circle. That's how you know
Yeah.
you completed
And
the
now
loop.
we've crossed the T's, we've dotted the I's, and now I think what we're ready?
Yeah, we're ready. That's what we do. We always bring it back. And that's why this episode was called
Not a poetry slam.
Not a Poetry Slam. Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed the poems today. I will have some more next week. Maybe you'll have a poem or two next week. If not,
Maybe.
that's okay. And remember, audience, if you have a poem you would like me to read for next week's poetry reading, come hit me with it. I can't guarantee I'll read it. It may be dog shit, but I'll at least look at it.
Also, if there's any single ladies that's looking for cuddles, sex is not required. Stas is a great guy.
True.
All right, I'm cooking.
All right.
I'm gonna go get some food.
Okay. Thanks for listening, everybody. Hope to see you again next week. It's gonna be a slammer. I don't know what that means.
Alabama slammer.
My brain is fried at the moment.
Honestly, it's been getting warm here, and like I cook in we get the PC running. I'm just hotboxing myself. I think I fried my brain a little
You've
bit.
moved from one hot room to another hot room. Wasn't your other room hot?
Yeah, but I think here's the issue, right? I'm the problem
right now, Lala.
I'm the problem. Me and
you're generating too much body heat.
I'm a hot motherfucker, dude.
Yeah, you're the Human Torch.
Yeah, I think it's actually more so that I'm on the computer all day and the computer pumps out the BTUs. But must bring bread. Good call, Larla. See, our audience does know us.
Yeah,
it's cute.
Not to the weekend though.
Yeah,
got a couple days.
Do we need to sign off?
What the fuck would we sign off with?
I don't. And zippity doo dah. See you next week.
Yeah,
like
no. If it comes to us naturally, if we start signing off a certain way, we'll do that. If not, no one's even listening anymore. I don't know.
Larla is.
Larla's here.
Yeah. One and only. Sometimes you gotta force it.
Do we? Is that what we're doing here?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you kidding me? As soon as we start forcing anything, it's gonna go kaput.
Yeah, homework. What's your homework? Says
maybe a poem.
Yeah, find a poem to read.
Maybe a poem. I want to pick one out of my my niece's books. That's the only place I've been reading poems lately in the past decade.
And how old is your niece?
2.5.
Yeah, okay. She can't even read, and you're picking those poems? Now, listen, I have nothing against children's poems. I read one today.
Yeah, you had Dr. Seuss today. That's what I'm
Okay.
reading.
Yes, I understand that, but you better bring your A game.
Yeah, mine's gonna be about the
I want you
23
to talk
Jakes.
about the poem a little bit.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna just pick it on a whim. I'll have to get something that means something to me.
Good, because I'm gonna ask you about it.
Good.
I want you to talk
And
about
then-
it a little bit.
And then when we're talking about shit an hour later, you better fucking ring back to that. You better bring it back.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Elon
exactly.
Musk
I'll
and his
bring it full circle.
testimonials.
Yeah.
Okay,
Be
Chad.
proud of that.
I have to piss. I gotta go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening. We'll catch you back next week.
Don't copy for
It's
stocks.
it's been real. Is that our sign off? It's been real.
It's been real, Chad. I feel like other people do that. That's not really unique.
Whatever, man. Here's unique.
We're just
I
gonna
don't
do.
know.
What if we just do an Irish goodbye sign off? We don't even sign off.